Okay, today we're going to do surface area, and surface area is exactly what it sounds like. It is the area of all the surfaces. If I had this Kleenex box right here, if I had this Kleenex box right here, then how many sides do I have on it? I have the top, the bottom, so that's 2, and then all 4 sides around, so that's 6 sides, okay? So I need to find the area of all 6 sides and then add them up together. So basically, like this is, if this was Kleenex brand, that would tell Kleenex how much cardboard do they need to have to make this box. Or how much wrapping paper do I need to cover this box. That's what surface area is good for. So you're just finding the area of all the surfaces. This box is made up of 6 rectangles. So I'd be finding the area of 6 rectangles. So looking at 15D number 1, you've got that box right there. We want to find the area of all 6 sides. So I can find the area of this side, that's 1. And then that's going to be the same as that one back there on the back. Then I can find this side, the area of that rectangle, and that will be the same as that one over here. And then I can find the area of this rectangle up on top, which is the same as the one on the bottom, okay? So really all I need to do is find the area of 3 rectangles. So let's do the area of this first rectangle. The formula for area of a rectangle is base times height or length times width. Either way you want to see it, okay? So the area of this first rectangle, base times height. My base is this, which is 6, so that'd be 6 inches, times the height. That's that right there, and it's labeled right here. The height is 2. The height is the same on all of them. So 2 inches. So 6 times 2, that would be 12. And area is always in square inches. You can write like that, or you can write square inches. That's a SQ. Okay? That's rectangle number 1. So what I like to do for surface area is I like to add all my areas. Okay, rectangle number 1, that area was 12 square inches. So 12 square inches, then that's going to be the same as that one back there, so it's another 12 square inches. I should be adding the area of 6 rectangles here in the end. Okay, so rectangle number 2, that's this one right here. So area equals base times height. Okay, that would be, this is your base, that 8 inches. Times my height is 2 inches. So that area, 8 times 2, 16 square inches. If you want to write square inches, that's fine. And remember, so that one is 16 inches, and then the one back here is 16 inches. So I'm going to add that. 16 square inches, and another 16 square inches. Okay, rectangle number 3. Let's find the area of rectangle number 3, which is this top. So formula for area of any rectangle, base times height. My base would be this length right here. What do we say that was? That's 6. Because if this is 6 right here, then this is 6 right here. So 6 inches times length times width, base times height. This and then this. That's the base and height for this rectangle number 3. So this length right here is my 8 inches. 6 times 8, 48 square inches. Okay, so the top is 48 square inches, and then the bottom is 48 square inches. So I have to add 48 square inches for the top rectangle, 48 square inches for the bottom rectangle, and then you're adding these all together. To get the surface area, you are adding all your rectangles. Okay, again, for a box, you should have 6 rectangles, the area of 6 rectangles that you're adding together. So, hang on, I'm doing that real quick. Okay, that is 152. Adding those all together, then your surface area, sometimes you might see it's SA equals 152, and it's square inches. Area, because it's surface area, anytime you're doing the area of anything, because it's area, always in square inches. Okay, now looking at 15E, number 2, we're doing surface area of a pyramid. The first thing you need to figure out is what shapes it's made out of. Okay, so you can see This bottom one here, that bottom shape, that's a square. A square is just a special rectangle. A square is a rectangle where all the sides are the same. So to find the area of a square, you're still doing base times height. Okay? Now you can see all the sides are triangles. Okay, so how many triangles am I going to have? If this base is a square, then there'll be 1, 2, 1 back here, and 1 back here. 3, 4. So there would be 4 triangles going all the way around. 4 triangles. So when we do the surface area, which is the area of all the surfaces, we should be doing 4 triangles plus the area of 1 square or rectangle. So let's find the area of let's do the area of the square first. So area of a square, base times height. My base is 4, 4. Length times width or base times height. So 4 inches times 4 inches would be 16 square inches. Okay, so let's do the area of our triangle. We'll just have to do one triangle because all 4 triangles are going to be the same. So the formula for area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, because basically you can take a rectangle, you cut it in half, and you end up with a triangle. So you take the area of a rectangle and divide it by 2. You might also see it like this, 1/2 base times height. So area of a triangle, the base of my triangle is 4. So 4 inches times the height of my triangle is this right here, my 8 inches. And then divide by 2. 4 times 8, 32. Divided by 2, and that would end up being 16 square inches. So to get your surface area, how do you get surface area? You add the area of all the surfaces. We said we would have 1 square. Okay, the area of my 1 square was 16 square inches, and then we said we should have 4 triangles. So the area of 1 triangle was 16 square inches. There's the second triangle. There's the third triangle. There's the fourth triangle. And then add them all together. Yes, can you multiply that by 4? Yes. You can either do these by multiplying or adding. You could have said 4 times 16 here, which is fine. I usually just show this to make sure with the pyramid we should have 4 triangles and 1 square. 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles and 1 square. So I just usually show that. And that comes out to 80 square inches. So your surface area is 80 square inches. Okay, looking at 15b7. This says find the surface area of the sides of the house, which means we're not doing the roof. Don't do the roof. We're only going to do the sides of the house. So we're going to have the area of this rectangle, which will be the same as that one back there. Then we're going to have this rectangle, which will be the same as that one on that side. And then we're going to have this triangle, which will be the same as that triangle back there. So essentially we're going to be having 2 rectangles for this, 2 rectangles for that, and then 2 triangles for that. Alright? So let's start out finding, and that will tell us the sides of the house. Because that's the side of the house. This is the side of the house. This is the side of the house. Roof is not considered a side of the house. Okay? So let's do our first rectangle. So area equals base times height. So this rectangle, the base is 24 feet. The height is that right there, which that's labeled back here to say 10 feet. Okay, so that area, 24 times 10, 240 square feet. Okay, I'm just going to start a running total here of the surface area of my sides as I find them. Okay, so rectangle number 1 is 200 square feet. I'm going to add up all the areas. So that rectangle, and then there's another one just like it in the back, so I need to have another one. Okay. Okay, now let's do rectangle number 2. And the way that I'm labeling and writing this down and keeping my work organized is a way that I recommend you do it. Well, however I write it up here is the way you should write it. I do it up here for a reason. So rectangle number 2. So let's find that area, base times height. So my base is 30 feet. My height, same, 10 feet. So that area, 30 times 10, 300 square feet. Okay, so that's the area of that rectangle. So add it to my total of square feet. Well, there's another rectangle just like it on this back side over here, 300 square feet. So I'm adding up all of my areas of the sides of the house. Now let's do the triangle part of the house. The formula for area of a triangle, base times height divided by 2. Okay, take your base of the triangle, that's this. Well, we know that is that 24 feet. So 24 feet, the height of your triangle, that is that 16 feet right there. Then divide that by 2. So 24 times 16, 384. So it'll be 384 divided by 2. That comes out to 192 square feet. So I can add that to my total of area, surface area. There's that triangle. Then there's another triangle on the back side that looks just like it. So we need to have 2 of those. Now we can add all of my areas up together. And I got 1,464. So 1,464 square feet. That would be the surface area of all the sides of my house because this represents all the areas of the sides of the house. Okay? Now, go down to number 8. Number 8 says that a square of vinyl siding is a 10 foot by 10 foot. So if I want to put vinyl siding on the house, then I would be putting these squares of 10 feet by 10 feet all on the sides of the house. Okay? So if a square of vinyl siding is 10 feet by 10 feet, it also represents 100 square feet. So every little square is going to represent 100 square feet. And so it says use your answer from number 7 to tell how many squares of vinyl siding you would need to buy to cover the sides, not the roof, the sides of the house. You can't buy part of a square. You don't go into Home Depot and say, I want 4.5 squares. No. You got to buy more than what you need, and some of it's wasted and left over. So, if the sides of our house was a total of 1,464 square feet, that was our answer from number 7, and then every square is 100 square feet, to find out how many of those you need, you would divide by 100 square feet, because each square is 100 square feet. To find out how many I need, divide. So that divided by 100 would be 14.64 squares. Those units cancel and go away. So that means you need that many squares, but we can't buy part of a square. So we know we need 14 and then a little bit more. So that means we would have to buy 15 squares to be able to cover all of that. Surface area is really good to use to know, like, how much paint do you need to paint your house, the inside, the outside of your house. I have used that many times.